Hey, what's up guys? It's Jimmy from Mechanic and welcome to the first in the new workshop sessions series. So today we're going to have a look at my all-time favourite move, the one-handed shuffle. Now this is the first move that got me interested in card magic, and it's the first move I tried to learn. So I kind of dove in at the deep end. It is quite a challenging move to learn, but I'm going to give you some sort of hints and tips on how to speed up your learning process with this move. So once you've got it down, I'm also going to show you how to make this a completely false shuffle. Now with the workshop sessions, I'm going to give you kind of my little spin on things. So you're not going to just learn the basic move that everyone's teaching. I'm going to show you my little take on it, or something to kind of turn it into something else. When you combine some basic sleights with the MechanicIndustries products, you get way more bang for your buck. So you're going to get some kind of crazy visual reveal, or it's just going to work slightly differently. So the workshop sessions is going to take you through a few things like this. So for instance, a one-handed shuffle, you can go and learn that in a few places, but there's not many places you can go and learn that, how you can turn it into a false shuffle. So this is kind of what we're going to do with the sessions. We're going to give you just that little bit extra. So with this move, we're going back to the old school, so we're going to feature one of our first decks, the Mechanic Deck VR2. Now it's flipbook animated and fully marked, as well as a host of other cool features. So if you like this deck, links are in the description below. Head over to MechanicIndustries.com and check it out right now. Here's a one-handed shuffle. So it allows you to shuffle the cards in one hand, and then if you would like, you can also make this completely false shuffle. So the grip is super important for this one. So we've got little finger along the short edge, ring, middle finger along the long edge, thumb gripping the other long edge, and the index starts up top here. So that's your initial grip. It's kind of like a straddle grip here. Now we're going to be coming down this way. Now this is the real tricky part of this move. So we're going to use the index finger to break the deck in half. So the closer you can get to exactly half, the better. So from this grip, we're going to pull down about half of the cards. Now this index finger is going to get kind of stuck inside here. And what's going to happen is I'm going to push up with my index finger, and this packet is going to be held, the bottom packet is just going to be held between the index and the thumb, and it's going to ride along the bottom of this deck until we come out here. We do need to get into this position where the top packet is clipped between the middle ring and pinky and against the index and the thumb here, so it's quite an awkward position to get into, but that's what we're going to need to do. So from the straddle grip, we pull down half the deck, and now what we do, we allow this top packet to slide along the nail of the index finger. So this is a tricky bit. So you push up, and what you're doing is really pushing up with your index finger, and eventually these need to be parallel to each other, and you're going to get a clip there. So that's the first part of the move, is to get in this position. Now this is the trickiest part of this move. It'll take you a little while to get there, but you can see what's going on. Clip between the index and the thumb, and the index is a kind of center point. So from there we can ferry these cards together, and then we're going to get into the shuffle. We've got the grip, we pull down, and now I'm going to tilt my wrist down, allowing that index to clear and come and clip in the middle. Index finger's getting stuck inside, and then we're allowing this to slide down. So this is going to slide down, index finger comes up, and then the packets are parallel in every way. So they really need to be parallel this way as well. So from this side, this bottom corners are then going to push together, and you see these cards will ferry together. And then we're going to push with the thumb down and the pinky in to cause those cards to coalesce this way. So I'll get back to that in a second, but then all we do from here is we turn everything over and we squeeze. So we squeeze the thumb towards these fingers and we squeeze these fingers towards the thumb. So we squeeze, and that's going to cause the cards to bridge, kind of like in a normal bridge shuffle. And now when we release the index finger and just slightly allow the pressure to ease between these, so we're going to release these out to the side fractionally, the cards will then cascade. So there's a few sections to this. First is the grip. Pull down, allow that packet to slide along the finger, clip. Make sure everything's parallel. Then we come to this point here, and then we're going to start to furrow these cards. Now I've been taught that we start here at the bottom and we start this furrow, and then it will start to furrow. I'll show you an easy way to do that as well in a second, but from there again we just tilt everything over and we squeeze. So we squeeze together, and then once we remove the index finger and then slightly loosen the grip, those cards will cascade. Now once you do this a little bit, once you get into the clip position, the furrow just happens kind of automatically when you just squeeze together. Then you can come over and then allow the cards to cascade. So yeah, to begin with, you'll be kind of wanting to get used to furrowing these cards correctly, kind of like pressing up. So they kind of cascade one by one, like that. Tilt over and go into the cascade this way. But once you get used to it, it just happens on the hit. So as soon as you come up here, hit, they just go together. Then you can turn and you know they're one for one. So like I say, you will see this taught, and they will say to start at the bottom here and work your way up, which is a great way to learn this. So there, turn over, cascade. But once you get used to this, you can just hit, and it makes it really, really fast. So I'll show you what I mean. So here, hit, boom. So that is the one-handed shuffle. It takes a little bit of practice just to get into this position. Then the index finger needs to go over to the edge and really squeeze these together. So last time, index finger breaks the deck in half, wrist turns down, you slide this top packet along the nail of this index finger here. So it slides along the nail. You come up, you get into position so everything's parallel. You allow these to furrow together using the little finger and pressure of the thumb to squeeze together. Then everything gets turned over. It's very secure at this stage. Turned over, pressure together, thumb against these fingers, release this index finger, and then the cascade will start just by loosening the pressure. So that's a one-handed shuffle. Let's get in to see how to do that and make it a false shuffle. So you see we've got this deck in running order. If I want to make this a false shuffle, I'll show you how to do it first. So it doesn't look any different from the standard shuffle. All that we're going to do is just, when we come here, we're just going to throw in a cut, and then you can see nothing changes place. Everything stays in exactly the same order. Now I'm going to use a shuffled deck for this, just for demonstration purposes, and then I'll get back to the kind of running ordered deck. So we're going to do exactly the same as the standard shuffle until we get to here. So we're still going to coalesce these packets, but what I'm doing is I'm letting this packet come a bit lower, so you can see one packet is higher than the other. So in the normal shuffle you'll have both packets exactly the same, but what I'm doing is letting one packet go slightly lower. Now this isn't exactly needed because you can do it from both packets up there, but it just takes a bit more work. I'm just showing you an easy way to do this. So you just make one packet slightly lower than the other, and this is the left hand packet that you want lower. So now when I come over and I shuffle these off, you'll see what happens. Look, if I square these up now, we've got a step. You can see this step. That's because one packet was lower than the other, and now all I have to do is strip out at the step. So I'm stripping those out, and then I replace this packet on top, and that will make it a false complete shuffle. So one more time, we come up here as they spread in. This card is lower, this pack is lower, this pack is higher, and then we just let this shuffle off normally, and you'll see this big step is created. It's such a big step. Now I just grip the bottom side with my thumb and middle finger, top side, thumb and middle finger, and I just strip these packets out. Now the packet in the right hand goes on top of the left, and that will make it a completely false shuffle. So let me just show you up to speed. I'll come here, this left packet is a little bit lower, I'll do here, and then I'll square. As I talk, I won't do this strip out just yet. If I keep my hand here covered, you can't see the step, and then I'll just talk, and then when I'm ready I'll just do the cut, and then that will make that a false shuffle. So it becomes a really easy to do, once you can do the one-handed shuffle, it becomes a very easy to do false shuffle. Bam, clip, boom, done, and that's a false shuffle. So I'll show you with the running order deck. Again, here I'll let this packet a little bit lower, I'll come over, I'll squeeze, I'll let the cards just fall, I'll clip, I'll pull out from the step, and then we've got a completely false shuffle. So I think it's one of the easiest false shuffles to do once you get to grips with the one-handed shuffle, because it works every single time. As long as you have this packet a little bit lower, then you just do the shuffle as normal, you create this lovely step. Then all you do, strip out at the step, replace on top, and then we've got our completely false shuffle.